Plus, it's easy to scale. Create unlimited AI receptionists across any phone system. It's all powered by one reliable platform for effortless AI communications. See for yourself at ringcentral.com. RingCentral, voice of your business.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope, it's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Thanks for showing up, Dub Nation. Nothing beats catching your Warriors live, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back. As the official ticket marketplace of the Warriors and the NBA, even if you're headed to the game last minute, Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can experience all the sights, sounds, and styles in person. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Warriors tickets today at Ticketmaster. Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com/Warriors. See you courtside again soon, Dub Nation.
Hey, Dub Nation. If you're traveling to cheer on the Warriors this season, then the most important thing to pack is the United Airlines app. You can track your bags, change your flight or your seat, get a personalized map of the airport terminal, even talk to a live customer service agent. It's like having a travel agent in the palm of your hand for free. And yeah, that technically makes it a free agent. Download the United app and book your next trip today. United, proud to be the official airline of the Golden State Warriors.
This is Draymond Green. Now back to the voice of the Warriors, Tim Roy, live from the DoorDash broadcast booth.
Raptors were led by Scotty Barnes, 23 points, 25 rebounds, 10 assists, a lot of steals, and a block to boot. Wow. Warriors head right to Brooklyn to take on the Nets tomorrow, 4 o'clock with the airtime. Good afternoon from Toronto. Raptors 141, Warriors 127.
Television sales on Black Friday set new records as millions of Americans snapped up the hot deals. But a lot of people were out of town or too busy to take advantage of the special pricing. So, how about a redo? Right now, you've got a second chance to save big on many of the top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs. Where? At Video Only, where the smart shoppers go. So, don't miss out. Check out Video Only now, or
you'll be sorry.
What do you think makes the perfect snack?
It's gotta be when I'm really craving it and it's convenient.
Could you be more specific?
When it's cravenient.
Okay.
Like a freshly baked cookie made with real butter, available right down the street at AM/PM, or a savory breakfast sandwich I can grab in just a second at AM/PM.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Well, yeah, we're talking about what I crave.
Which is anything from AM/PM.
What more could you want?
Stop by AM/PM where the snacks and drinks are perfectly craveable and convenient. That's Cravenience. AM/PM, too much good stuff.
No matter what you're eating during today's Warriors game, sharing a jar of Mazzetta makes it better. Just pop open that red cap to give your favorite snacks something extra, like crunchy jalapenos.
One in 8 women have thyroid issues.
Am I the one? I am kind of tired. I should see a doctor. Is it genetic? Does my health plan even cover tests like that? In-network, out-of-network? Why is this always a whole big thing? Wait. I have Kaiser Permanente. So my coverage includes regular preventive care. Guess it doesn't have to be a whole big thing.
Kaiser Permanente. Healthcare that just works.
Happy holidays, Dub Nation. The deals are dropping, and Rakuten is here to help you save big this season. With Rakuten, you can stack cash back on top of holiday sales to maximize your savings. Whether you're shopping gifts for everyone on your list at your favorite stores, or scoring 10% cash back at the Warrior Shop. Make this holiday season the most rewarding one yet. Join for free at Rakuten.com or download the Rakuten app. That's RAKUTEN.
Thanks for showing up, Dub Nation. Nothing beats catching your Warriors live, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back. As the official ticket marketplace of the Warriors and the NBA, even if you're headed to the game last minute, Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can experience all the sights, sounds, and styles in person. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Warriors tickets today at Ticketmaster. Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com/Warriors. See you courtside again soon, Dub Nation.
Make pet care stress-free with PetMeds, the official partner of the Golden State Warriors. As a trusted national online pharmacy for over 29 years, PetMeds is licensed in all 50 states to support your pet's wellness. We offer a comprehensive range of health solutions for every stage of life, from prescription medications to nutrition and supplements. Visit PetMeds.com and use promo code WARRIORS for 30% off your entire order. PetMeds, empowering you to help your pets live longer, healthier lives.
To Curry, pump fake, fly by, 3-ball, got it with the buzzer sounding!
You've been listening to Golden State Warriors basketball on the Warriors Radio Network. Presented by United Airlines. For tickets, visit Warriors.com or call 888-GSW-HOOP.
You wish you were here.
This Odyssey Sports broadcast was presented by ZipRecruiter. Looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free.
A 12-point lead with 7 and change. And the Warriors are going to lose by 14 in overtime unless they make a shot here in the final 13.8. Violation. Will Richard will take it. And he's just got to dribble it out. He just even picks up his dribble. Kelishvili with a hug for Quentin Post. 43-17 over the last 12 minutes, roughly, of this game. Actually, no, I take that back. Yeah, it is 12 minutes. 12 minutes to 54 seconds of the game. And another winnable game for the Golden State Warriors goes by the boards. In overtime, the final, Toronto 141, Golden State 127.
Yeah, that was absolutely brutal as the Warriors just, frankly, give one away north of the border in Toronto in the first of a back-to-back. It looks like they're about to turn a corner, 3 in a row, have a chance to win their 4th straight, to be the first time this season they accomplished that. And after going up by 7 points with 1 minute and 43 seconds left in the game on a Curry three-pointer, the Warriors absolutely fall apart. The Toronto Raptors go on a 21-4 run between the tail end of regulation and the beginning of overtime. And this is a game that the Warriors had in their hands. It was there. They were up by double digits multiple times. Third quarter, turnovers. Evaporates that lead. 3 straight to end the quarter. Just inexcusable. Backcourt, easy throwing it away, dribbling into easy trap positions. It was like an NCAA game where you see a team just lose their heads. They lose their wits. And the Warriors just gave the ball away again and again in the second half. Fast forward to the fourth quarter, right after Curry knocks down that 3. Scotty Barnes catches Jimmy Butler off balance for a dunk. Next possession, Will Richard in the backcourt, looking for anybody to throw the ball to. No help whatsoever. Double team comes, he turns the ball over. That taps into a Brandon Ingram pull-up jump shot after a missed three-pointer. An offensive rebound by Scotty Barnes turns into the Ingram pull-up shot. It becomes a 3-point game. Timeout Warriors. Okay, deep breaths. Let's collect ourselves. 65 seconds left. All you need is one basket. Not to ice the game, but to put yourself in a position to where you just need to force one miss, right? If the magic number is down to 2, a bucket gets it to 1. As soon as they come out of the timeout, Draymond Green from the corner tries to force a pass inside. No chance of completing that pass whatsoever. I mean, that was trying to thread a needle 53 yards downfield into triple coverage, if that was a quarterback terms. And we will talk about quarterbacks in just about 10 or 15 minutes because we're live here at Laughing Monk Studios and Laughing Monk Brewing. And Cameron Williams is in our Laughing Monk Studios. But for the next 10 minutes, we got to talk about the Dubs. And hopefully that's the last time we think about them tonight, because that was a complete crumbling in the fourth quarter. Emmanuel quickly, after that Draymond Green turnover, steps into a 26-foot three-pointer, tie game. Somehow the Warriors get the lead back, even though Curry, who was awesome for the first 33 to 35 minutes of this game that he played, he misses a wide-open 28-footer from the right wing. Podziemski is there to lay it back in. The Warriors up 2. Again, just one stop necessary for them to win this basketball game. And they get it, and then they force that miss. They force a miss off Brandon Ingram, but Scotty Barnes is there for his 5th offensive rebound. He ended up with 25 boards in this basketball game, tips it back in, ties the game. The Warriors don't even get a shot off on their final possession because Curry is called for a BS foul. Didn't touch Shed, who was out on the perimeter, kind of swiped as Shed was in his space, and Curry gets hit for the non-call that was, and Toronto then goes to overtime with all the momentum, and they end up winning that basketball game. It was one of the most confounding final 90 seconds that I have seen from the Warriors this season. And we've seen the Warriors blow games. We have seen them lose to inferior opponents. We've seen them lose to teams without some players. But that was a game that was there for them to take if they could dribble and pass the basketball. But this is a team that, again and again, we continue to learn is either too old or too young. And tonight it reared its ugly head. Its ugly head again. I feel like the Warriors showed that they were too old because Butler, Green, and Curry, while they were all three pretty damn good in this basketball game. You look at what Draymond Green did. He had 21 points, made 8 shots, 4 threes, one less of a season high, had 7 assists and only 3 turnovers. Of course, the last one was the one that killed them. But Draymond Green overall had a fine game. Up until the fourth quarter, Jimmy Butler was the Warriors' most consistent form of offense. Got to the line 7 times, and then in the fourth quarter, he just ran out of gas. And even Steph Curry ended up having to play 41 minutes in this basketball game and scoring 39 points. Again, I thought, sort of ran out of gas in the fourth quarter and overtime. So the big three, too old from that standpoint, and the rest of the Warriors were too young. Will Richard, I love what he did in this game, but a couple of just awful turnovers down the stretch. He had 5 steals, and that's the thing that's tough about this game is there's a lot of performances that if the Warriors had been able to hold on, we'd be talking about them as taking a step forward, turning a corner, young guys contributing, pitching in. But we can't do that, and I'm sure it doesn't matter that Steph scored 39 in this game because of the way the Warriors blew it. They're now back to 500. They're a team that's 6-12 on the road, and they're a team that even after winning 3 at home, beginning to find some consistency in the rotation, beginning to find some consistency in their lineups, it's kind of all for naught, and it feels like they're back to square one a little bit. And that's because Toronto, you give them credit, what they do is they beat, batter, and bruise you up. They're a team that is full of a lot of young, big, athletic wings. Scotty Barnes was sensational in this game. He had 23 points, 25 rebounds, and 10 assists. It was a plus 24. I mean, he owned the game because he, along with Toronto, I just felt like as a whole, they just wore the Warriors down. They absolutely wore them down over the course of this game, and it just feels like one of those opportunities that slips through their hands. And that's why we're talking about a Warriors team that might be on the downside, right? That is what, to use the words that Steve Kerr brought up a couple of days ago, that performance is what a fading dynasty looks like. You have players that contributed to 4 championships. You have a superstar caliber player in Jimmy Butler, and you have a lot of young guys around them. But at the back end of a dynasty, there are players that once were able to close, not able to do it. You have those role players that once were contributing to big-time victories that are unable to take care of the basketball in clutch time. And you have a young, spry, athletic, long Toronto Raptors team who by themselves are, a 5 seed in the East. They're not a bad basketball team, but they're not world beaters by any means, and they just simply walked the Warriors down. Like a boxer in the 15th round, the Warriors just were worn out and didn't have enough to close this game, even though they had the lead 7 points with 1:40 left to go in the ball game, and they could not get it done. They're stars, they're young players. Everyone deserves blame in this game, including the head coach. I thought that there was a couple players out there that, I'm wondering, where's Pat Spencer when you can't take care of the basketball? He's a point guard. I'm wondering why Buddy Hield is out there in clutch time, a guy that has trouble taking care of the basketball. I'm wondering why some of these decisions were made at different stages of the game because the Warriors were just struggling, and it was clear as day. So I think everyone deserves blame in this game. And before we get to the kickoff show, I promise we're going to calm things down and talk about a team that has an opportunity to do something great this season. Before we get into that, let's hear from the head coach. Let's hear from Steve Kerr after this one. Cam.
What went wrong down the stretch? You guys are up 12 with seven and some change. It seemed like a stream of turnovers.
Yeah, it's just turnovers. End of the third and end of the fourth, we just got scattered. I've got to get us better organized during those stretches. That's on me. They turned up the pressure. We didn't handle it well, and they scored 35 points off our turnovers. That was the game.
How deflating does it feel?
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, we're on a little bit of a run, got a chance for some momentum. We controlled the whole game, and we let it slip.
What went wrong on the glass tonight?
Well, Barnes obviously just dominated the boards. Whether we were big or small, it just seemed like he was getting every rebound. So, he was great.
Think about starting overtime big?
Not really. Al was done with his minutes. He was on a minutes restriction, and we thought briefly about Quentin, but I felt better, starting the way we did. And we went to Quentin, a couple minutes in. We were down 6, I think.
Yeah, you mentioned Quentin. What did you see from him? What do you ask him to improve, like moving forward?
Who?
Quentin Post.
Quentin?
Quentin, yeah.
He's doing great. He's having a great season. Improved his defense dramatically. He's a really good player. He's just got to keep working, keep playing. But we're lucky to have him.
What are the optimal possessions you're looking for down this stretch? What does an optimal crunch time possession look like?
Well, take care of the ball, get spaced. Get the ball to Jimmy or Steph, and let them attack one way or the other, whether it's a screen or an ISO. But I kicked myself. I tried to run a little backdoor play where Steph's setting the back screen for Jimmy late in regulation, and we were going to bring Steph off of a split cut if the back cut hadn't worked, and I put Draymond in a tough spot, and that was on me. I needed a better call in that situation to get the ball to Steph or Jimmy and give them space.
Draymond with 21 points. They've been a rough stretch of games for him. Is there something to take away from just the way you played?
Draymond was great tonight. He played his tail off. Great energy, great defense. So he did everything he could to help us win. Like I said, I feel like I let us down tonight.
Buddy back in the rotation, or is that just for today?
Well, Melton was out, and we needed those minutes, so Buddy was back.
Trace stretched late.
I'm sorry?
Trace? Was he stretched?
No, he was fine. We had him in the lineup plans, but because of the way the game was going and the way they were guarding Steph, we felt like we had to have space with our bigs, and so that's why we stayed with Al and QP.
41 minutes for Steph. Do you expect him to go tomorrow?
I expect him to, but it's a tough one, and Jimmy 37, Trey 33 with the back-to-back. Brutal loss, but we got to bounce back.
Well, that's all they can do at this point. They're going to play Brooklyn tomorrow. It's a 4:30 tip. We'll have it all here for you on 95.7 The Game with Warriors Live starting at 3:30. And a game that I think everyone deserves fingers pointed at them, and Kerr included. You hear him talking about not putting certain guys in positions to be successful. I mean, just as simple as how do we beat a press? I mean, seriously, how do we beat a backcourt or half-court press? It felt like everyone who had the ball, and this is as much as it's on the coach as it is the players, when Moses Moody and Will Richard are dribbling in the backcourt, either someone's got to come back to the ball and get it out of their hands. Gary Payton II, another one at the end of the third quarter, was just waiting to get his pocket picked. Either someone's got to get back and get these guys out of positions to where they have to do anything back there, or they should know as NBA players where are the spots on the floor that the trap is going to come from. It felt like every time the Warriors, and by the way, they had 16 turnovers in the second half in overtime, every time that they dribbled the ball, it was to like the kill spot on the floor where the Raptors, who were just long, jumped right in there and took the ball away from them and forced something close to a turnover. So anyways, I know we're going to talk about this coming up throughout the week. I hope, though, that we're able to put this game behind us because we have a more important one coming up in just about an hour. The Niners and the Bears on Sunday Night Football. That's a game that could go potentially, if you're a Niner fan, it could help you get to a game for the 1 seed. If they win this game, they control their path to the 1 seed next week against the Seattle Seahawks at Levi's Stadium. So a massive one coming up. I got the big fella with me here live at Laughing Monk Brewing in Sunnyvale. Stop on by if you haven't already and grab some pop if you're going to watch the game before you get out there. But I got Lorenzo Neal coming up on the other side. The kickoff show is ahead as we put a bow on Warriors wrap-up. The Warriors fall to the Toronto Raptors again, 141-127 in overtime. I'll talk to you in just a moment alongside Lorenzo Neal live at Laughing Monk as we move back after this on 95.7 The Game.
A lot of Bay Area banking customers are faced with a choice. Which financial institution best fits what they're looking for? It might make sense to consider a bank's history. Take Fremont Bank. For 60 years, we've provided stability and consistency with an emphasis on relationships. We've grown one customer at a time, not through mergers or acquisitions, because that's how you can do business when you're independently owned and community focused. Fremont Bank. Here for you, here for good.
Boy, am I glad to be done with my holiday shopping.
Oh, I know.
And now I just want to relax.
Me too. Well, except there's one more store we should check out.
Oh, no way.
Because this week, we can get a Samsung, LG, or Sony TV at an incredible price.
Really? Where?
At Video Only's year-end clearance sale. They're really cutting deals.
Because the holidays are over?
Yep. So this is our chance to get what we wanted for Christmas.
Are the prices really that good?
Yes. For 7 days they are. And Video Only has those top-rated models we were thinking about all on sale.
All right. The best stuff cheap is worth a trip.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael. Video Only.
Thinking about selling your house but hesitant to move during the holidays? Imagine finalizing your sale now, enjoying the holidays, and move later. Call Wedgwood Homes to discuss your options. Do you want to downsize, relocate, or selling an inherited property? Does your house need repairs or updates? Wedgwood Homes buys homes as is. No repairs, no commissions, no hassle. Secure your future plans and move forward with a no-obligation, all-cash offer from Wedgwood Homes. Close in as little as 3 days. Or enjoy the holiday season and move after the new year. Skip the stress of a traditional listing that can be slow and unpredictable. Lock in your sale now with a firm offer from Wedgwood Homes with no last-minute price drops like other cash buyers. Call 415-888-9432 for your no-obligation all-cash offer. 415-888-9432. 415-888-9432 or wedgwoodhomes.com. The Bay Area's trusted home buyer.
All right, Bay Area, lock in because the clock is ticking on the Ford Final Days year-end sales event, and it's happening right now at Serramonte Ford. And trust me, you do not want to miss this. Right now, you get an extra $1,000 in bonus cash on top of all other offers on brand new 2025 Fords. That's real money, and it gets even better. How about 0% APR for 60 months on Serramonte Ford's most popular rides? We're talking F-150, Explorer, Escape, Mustang Mach-E, Lightning, Transit vans, and Super Duty trucks. 0 down, 0 payments for 90 days. Yeah, sit with that for a second. Every new 2025 Ford in stock qualifies, and there are more than 5 to choose from with that extra $1,000 open bonus cash. But don't wait, this deal ends January 2nd, and when it's over, it's over. Get to Serramonte Ford right off 280 in Colma, Daly City, or shop 24/7 at serramonteford.com. Final days, big trucks, bigger savings. Serramonte Ford, your Bay Area Ford store.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on. Like a close friend who will give it to you straight. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. This holiday season through January 4th, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 2025.
Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 2025. Last chance! Donate now for a 2025 tax deduction.
Hey, what's going on, guys? We are back here live at Laughing Monk Brewing and getting you ready for Sunday Night Football. Let's leave the dubs in the past, all right? The losing ways, that's not what we want to talk about. We want to talk about a team, Lorenzo Neal, as we're live here at Laughing Monk Brewing in Sunnyvale, California. We want to talk about a team that has an opportunity to do something unbelievable, which is after everything they've been through, if they win tonight, Lo, they can play for the 1 seed next weekend on Sunday, right back here at Levi's Stadium. What's up, man?
Yeah, it's all great, man. It's great to see you. Great to be here at Laughing Monk. The energy's up. I watched you do the last show. You were talking about the Dubs. It's like, the Dubs. I watched that game. Me and you were watching it. Minute left. You're winning by 5. And how do you let this get away? But anyway, let's switch the gears and let's talk about these bang-bang Niner games. This is it. It's amazing. They say every 40 years the Chicago Bears, you think of 1946, I think that was one of their first when they won one kind of bowl game, what might as well call the Super Bowl at that time, and then in 86, and there's another 40 years. So all these Bears fans are coming up with all these cliches and these taglines, and I'm going to tell you right now, Caleb, the quarterback, what the coach has done, the head coach there, you see where Detroit's offense has went from Jared Goff being possibly MVP to being from the great what happened to Jared Goff to now who is Jared Goff. It goes to show you how much coaching plays a part of a young developing quarterback. You look at Caleb, where he was at last year to this year, cutting down on turnovers. You look at the offense, he's running it, they're established. This is going to be a hell of a game. You got two teams, their offenses can get after it, they can light up the scoreboard. You got two athletic quarterbacks. You got two teams that still are vying to be the number 1 seed that control their own destiny. Tonight's a playoff game.
It is, and that's the thing that's so exciting about it. It's not just going to be in front of America. It's not going to just be for the Niners with a chance to beat them. But I think to your point, this is why the game is so fascinating, is as much about the players on the field as it is the guys holding the headsets. Kyle Shanahan is one of the best play callers in football. Ben Johnson, in his first season as head coach for the Chicago Bears, has truly been the difference for them. This is a team that's won a lot of close games. Caleb Williams has been playing far better than I expected him to this season and is looking like the number 1 overall pick that he was a couple of years ago. Their run game is dynamic. Their defense forces the most turnovers, most interceptions in the NFL. So they're playing pretty complimentary football, and now they get to square up against a Niners team led by Brock Purdy that has won 5 consecutive games since he's come back from that turf toe.
Yeah, I tell you, Brock has came back, and you know what? He looked a little shaky coming back one of the couple games, and all of a sudden you see Brock is back to himself, and it's just great. You still see Brock. He'll take some chances at times. You're like, Brock, don't do that, but he'll do it, and sometimes he gets away to it, sometimes he don't. But that's what makes him kind of unique. That's what makes him different. That's what makes him one of the elite quarterbacks. When you look at Brock and you think about going from Brock to Daniel Jones, seeing who Daniel was able to hold it down, but you just see now the athletic ability. You say, hey, look, Daniel Jones, smart guy. Daniel Jones knew where to go with the ball. Daniel Jones is going to be efficient, not going to necessarily turn over the ball, but you see the athletic ability. Brock Purdy compared to Mac Jones, rather. It's just a huge difference. His escapability, him able to scramble, grab different things that Jones just can't do. Mac Jones just can't do that. He's able to throw the ball. They can throw the ball. Both can throw the ball. But just the athletic ability that you're starting to see by Brock Purdy, where him taking it to the next level with his legs, his creativity, and him throwing the swag out there. This is two quarterbacks that may be the future, may be the face of the NFL. These are two young quarterbacks, both under 25 years old, 25 years or younger, and these two guys are playing at a high level. This is going to be a quarterback-driven league. This is a quarterback-driven league. Tonight is no exception. These are two high-power quarterbacks with two offenses that are putting a lot of points up, and it's about the other guys. And to me tonight, it's about, does the Niners have it on the defensive side of the ball?
And that's going to be the biggest test, right? Because since Brock Purdy's come back, they've averaged 35 points. But they've played the Cardinals, the Panthers, who, by the way, have a chance to go win the division next week because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers cannot take care of business. But the Cleveland Browns, the Tennessee Titans, and then not the Colts from week 4, week 5, but the Colts who had Phillip Rivers as their quarterback. So this is going to be the biggest test that Brock Purdy has faced, and the Niners have faced, I believe, since Brock has come back from that injury. They won't have George Kittle tonight. He's going to be out with an ankle injury sustained last week. That's a big loss for them, but they won a game in L.A. without George Kittle. They have won games without their quarterback this year. So this is a game, to me, Lo, that I think you're absolutely right. The question is going to be, is that defense that's shown, it's given up some yards, but obviously the offense has done more and helped them out. Is the defensive line, are those linebackers, is the secondary going to be up to the challenge of stopping a Chicago Bears run game that if they get going and they get humming between DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai,
two-headed monster.
That is a dangerous backfield.
Yeah, you got to look at Bryce Huff, and you got to think about, Davis, Khalil Davis, how's he going to play, Jordan Elliott. These are the guys that maybe people don't talk about, Sam and Luka, and these are the guys that people don't talk about, D. Winters. You don't hear these guys. These are not household names. But tonight, these guys got an opportunity to be household names because you watch this Chicago Bears team take friggin' the Green Bay Packers and create a new line of scrimmage and just push them all up and down the field. You have seen the Chicago Bears team take a lot of teams that they played and just push them up and down the field, running the ball. So it's going to be, how are they stout enough to be stout enough to bend but don't break? That's going to be very important. And you got to realize Caleb can throw the ball. This guy can throw the ball, and he's very accurate, and he can scramble, he can move. And the Niners aren't known for just putting pressure on the quarterback just with 4. So you're going to have to play some cat and mouse, and you're going to have to come after him at times. You got to light him up. You got to gamble. And if you get out of your lanes, Caleb Williams can hurt you with his legs. He's Houdini-ass. So this is going to be a big test for the defense. Fundamentally, can guys stay in the proper lane? Can they shut down the run? But also understand maintaining the focus of saying, we know that this team can throw the ball and throw the ball very efficient. This is just not a team that is going to run the ball. This is a team that can do both.
Well, and comparing the two quarterbacks, I think, is also really interesting because Brock Purdy, since he's come back, he's got a 13-4 touchdown-interception ratio. He's got a passer rating of 110. They've won all 5 of the games since he's been back. He looks, I don't want to say that he's put the turf toe behind him because it's an injury that could flare up. You never know when. But he looks to be playing very solid football. He has the escapability, doesn't have the big arm. Meanwhile, Caleb Williams has been equally as productive in a more, call it, dynamic fashion, right? He's got the bigger arm. He makes these home run plays out of nowhere where he's falling out of the sideline, sidearm slinging 30 yards down the field, and can obviously run. But Brock Purdy's been the guy who's taking care of the ball better. To me, that's the difference in this ball game tonight is if the Niners take care of the football, I think that the Chicago Bears are going to struggle to get that run game going. And the Niners have been so far playing according to their script. So far during these last 5 games, they've played with leads, they've played from ahead, and even though the mistakes, say, on Monday night against the Panthers, they bit Brock, but they didn't kill Brock. This is a game where if Brock has one of those kinds of performances, I don't see the Niners being able to overcome it the way they did like against Carolina.
Yeah, this is a game like you just alluded to that you got to play keep away, and you're going to have a defense that's going to be on the field a lot. You got to say, look, how are we going to save our defense? What is going to Robert Saleh got cooked up to say, we got to be an optimistic defense. We got to make some big plays when we need to. And we also on offense, like you're talking about Brock Purdy, how are they going to move the sticks with just the quick, the intermediate, short game? I think that you're going to have some opportunities to go down the field because I think the Chicago Bears is going to get up and play press. They're going to try to get in their face, try to disrupt it, to try to get home. I think you're going to have some opportunities for some big plays on this offense. I think Brock Purdy will have some opportunities for big plays on offense because I really believe that the Chicago Bears is going to press them. They're going to say, look, guys, they're going to just try to take the 3 and 4 yards. They're not looking for chunk plays. This is a team that we're different. We're more explosive than the Niners. So I think I think Kyle Shanahan is going to have a bag of tricks up his sleeve tonight. They're going to take some shots because you are going to be playing against a team that's going to say, look, let's get up and press them. Let's play man-to-man because we know they just want 3-4 yards, but let's make them get off schedule. That's what Chicago Bears is going to be saying. I want the Niners off schedule, and Kyle Shanahan's job is to keep this Niners on schedule.
Absolutely, and this is a big game for the Bears, too. Look, obviously the Niners, if they win, they'll match up with Seattle next week at Levi's for essentially the 1 seed in the division, and if they lose, they would fall back to as low as 6. But for Chicago, this is a position where they're fighting neck and neck with the Philadelphia Eagles for that 2 seed. And yes, it does not include a bye week, but it means that you might have to play the Green Bay Packers instead of playing the Niners or the Rams. And right now, I think that the Rams, to me, still look like the best team in the NFC, even though they've stumbled as of late. The Seahawks are right now atop the table, but you would much rather play a Green Bay Packers team that's got questions at the quarterback position right now because of Jordan Love's health than having to play the Niners or the Rams, especially a second time. So the Bears are a team that I think also, too, looking at them from afar low, they've got a lot to prove. You know, this is the first year of Ben Johnson, but like we saw last season with Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders, they got all the way to the NFC Championship game. A year later, they're in the cellar. You never know when it's going to be your opportunity, and it feels like the Bears believe that they have action this season.
They have action because you talked about the head coach that they hired. You talked about a team that's cut down in penalties. You talked about a team that's running the ball. You're talking about the team that's way more efficient. You're talking about a team that had a quarterback last year that was horrible. People said, why was he the first pick? And now all of a sudden you see him this year being more efficient. Why? Because the head coach. So I think the biggest, when you look at Jaden Daniels last year, you saw the Commanders and how they were, and this year they fell off the train tracks. I think the Chicago Bears are built differently. I don't think you can compare those two. I think the Chicago has way better running game. I think they have more consistency at other positions. So it's going to be interesting. But this is a team that both these teams, you never know when the opportunity is going to present itself. And right now, the 49ers is playing with house money. We sit here, and I'm the first to say, I never thought the 49ers would be sitting here thinking that they'd be playing for an opportunity to play for the number 1 seed. If they win, they're the number 1 seed. And now it comes through it travel. You don't have to travel. The road to the Super Bowl comes through San Francisco. I don't think people realize how important and how significant that is. Because think about it. You would be in the same locker. You got the same locker. You have the same training staff. You have the same breakfast. You have the same food. You have all the familiar faces that you don't have to pack up your bag and go to another stadium. You don't have to get on a plane. You can stay at your house. You're talking about for the next 3 weeks, if you win and do what you're supposed to do you know what this team let me tell you, I know the 49ers understand what's at stake here because this is way bigger than just saying, getting in the playoffs. This is Chicago. If you're playing in Chicago, if you win or whatever, you might play there, but you still got to go play in San Fran, travel, pack up for the Super Bowl, do all those things, get out of your rhythm. Nothing changes for the Niners. You can defy history. This is such a big moment. Every game is a playoff game, and tonight is no exception to the rule. Maybe this is the biggest game, and then next week we'll be saying that's the biggest game. But tonight, this is the biggest game because the 49ers have earned the right. This is the biggest game of the season for them now.
I feel like a lot of people, and yes, George Kittle again, he's out tonight with that ankle injury, and that should affect the Niners. But I think at this point of the season, people are reminded or have forgotten to this extent that the Niners have so much postseason experience on their roster, and a lot of it's with the head coach. I mean, you think about what Kyle Shanahan has accomplished. Yes, he has not won a Super Bowl. He's been to 2 of them. But every time the Niners have got to the playoffs under Kyle, they have got to the NFC Championship game. And it's been with Jimmy Garoppolo. It's now been twice with Brock Purdy. It's been multiple times with Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, George Kittle. It's been with guys, some of them not available. It's been with Trent Williams. Christian McCaffrey has played in the biggest game. There's a lot of guys on this team that have postseason experience. So it fires me up when you say playoff football, because this is the best time in the season. This is the time where the Niners have done all the work, but there's still a whole heck of a lot more to go. They put themselves in a position to challenge for the NFC. And I believe, Lo, that even though each week you and I have kind of raised an eyebrow, all right, well, we're waiting for the other shoe to drop, we're waiting for them to turn back into a pumpkin, I'm done with that. At this stage in the season, in Week 17, with the Niners having done what they've accomplished already, this is a team that I absolutely believe can make some noise in the playoffs. And most important of all, whether you, anybody else here at Laughing Monk Brewing thinks, they believe that. And I think they're ready to show it.
They do. And I want to see Mustafa tonight, the strong safety. Let's see what he's going to bring to the table, because this guy has a chance to be an elite safety. And he can be one of those guys that people say, man, he'll hit you. He's got a chance. He's got an opportunity to make a name for himself because he's a thumper. He's a hard hitter. You got to realize Cleveland Farrell, the second stint here, some of these guys were first rounders, didn't really pan out a lot of different places. They have an opportunity. This is a huge game. This is a lot of no names, retread guys that the 49ers have, and they're in roles right now that's defining moments, that are defining this 49ers history, that are defining this 49ers legacy, that are saying, I've been a part. It's tough, and man, it's great when you say, man, I was on that 2005 Charger team. Hey, I was on the Tennessee Titans when they went to the Super Bowl. I'm the team, Music City Miracle. You're defining moments. This right now, for a lot of these guys, the guys you talked about, Kittle and McCaffrey, they've been here. Brock, they've been here. But a lot of these guys have not been here. They're defining their history. They're defining and say, no, I was on that team. No, I wasn't on that, but I was on that team where when Fred Warner got hurt, when Nicky Bosa went out, when all these greats, when Ufunga left and went to, and Fred, and hard-hitting Heinz 57, Greenlaw gone to Denver. All these guys left, and it was just us. I was that team where they said, these are the new kids on the block. I was that team when they said, when we got on the special team and we got into team meetings, and they're putting up this, we can't show you film from last year because none of these guys from last year are out on the field. This is a new generation. This is new blood. That's the exciting part about this tonight. This is more than yes, you're playing a great team tonight. You're not playing a shabby team. This Chicago Bears team have earned the right to be on this field. They have earned the right to play for the number one seed, just like the Niners have. But tonight is the defining moment for history for both these clubs. And the Niners, man, they got a lot of guys that can make a name for themselves and rewrite their history and define what they meant to this 49ers organization, and instead of being like, hey, I was just a guy. They got an opportunity tonight to step up and play big.
And that's the thing about a lot of these guys you're talking about. They've already been involved in so many moments this season that when you look back on 2025, you're going to remember Jake Tonjes' Week 1 touchdown in Seattle. You're going to remember Alfred Collins' fumble at the goal line stop against the Rams.
Yes.
You're going to remember some of these performances and some of these plays. Ricky Pearsall's 40-yard catch on 4th and 2, Week 6 against Arizona from Mac Jones. You're going to remember all the moments that Mac Jones had in Brock Purdy's stead. And now you're going to remember Brock Purdy throwing 5 touchdowns on Monday Night Football against the Indianapolis Colts, diming him out to Demarcus Robinson, diming him out to Tonjes, diming him out to all these different guys. And that's the beautiful part about this team. I don't believe that they're as talented on paper than the last one that went to the Super Bowl.
They're not.
But the thing is, they don't have to be. That's a completely different year, a completely different team. And what this team has found, I think even shocks some of the guys in that locker room because, to your point, it's just been an opportunity each and every week for a different guy to step up. Okay, Fred Warner goes down. Tatum Bethune has 16 tackles his first game as a starter. He goes down. Curtis Robinson, who's, by the way, inactive for this game, he will step up and play for Bethune. Now Robinson's out. Bethune's back in. They've had so many different cobbled together concoctions of this 53-man roster that it's been incredible to watch because every single week you're wondering, will it be Kalia Davis? Is it going to be Upton Stout? Is it going to be C.J. West? There's all these different names that we're learning together because all they've done is play winning football.
Yeah, I think another point, and we just talking about these guys, these individuals, these faceless, nameless guys that are just stepping up and playing ball. If you think about the receiver, that the Niners, you think about Debo. And everyone talks about the 2 years ago when they put him at running back and 3 years ago and how he carried the team and all the different things he was able to do. Think about who you have now. You have Jennings. You have a guy that no one really knows, that here's a guy third in Jennings. And who is Jennings? Jennings is the focal point. Jennings is the touchdown maker. Jennings is one of the best red zone receivers in the league.
Yep.
Look who Jennings is. Look what Juwan Jennings is. And think about the receivers. You just played a guy last year before he blew out his knee. How much? He's
Brandon Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk. You can pay him all this money. And look who is the guy on your team. You got a guy that's a number 3, a guy that people don't talk about, a guy that that is a true starter in this league. Jennings. All he does is make plays when he's called upon. This is a team, man, that you got some guys that have an opportunity to be unique. And they're selfless, and they just want to win.
And they've also been able to do it, whether it's 10 a.m. on the East Coast, 1 o'clock here at home. Now they're on a primetime stage.
Yeah.
I do think that this is – I'm not going to speak for everyone, but for a lot of national media members who, kind of like us early this season when we're thinking about the Mac Joneses and the Jake Tonjises, all right, are the Niners really this good? I do feel like in a way, Lo, this is the first game where everyone together is watching, expecting the Niners and knowing what we're going to get. Will they win the game? We're going to find out. It's going to be a tough matchup. There's no doubt about it. But this is the first game where the entire country is watching Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, and the San Francisco 49ers are a team that they're now recognizing and respecting because everyone has just been wondering this entire time how good they are really. To me, if they win this football game tomorrow and the rest of the week leading up until the 1-seed showdown between them and Seattle, if they win this game, there's going to be nothing but people giving them their flowers.
Yeah, you have to. I think that regardless, you got to look at this 49er team. And I think everyone's been like, oh, wait till next week, like you've been talking about it. You and I have been saying, oh, wait till next week. Oh, when's the shoe going to fall off? Oh, when's this going to happen? It's no more wait till next week. It's the 49ers to be reckoned with. The 49ers is a good team. The 49ers is going to be a representative in the NFC, and no one just can say the 49ers you can just dominate them. There's not a team in the NFC, that you can say that you're afraid of. The Rams did manhandle them. The Seattle, it's going to be interesting. But you're playing right now in a situation that you have an opportunity to make some noise.
Yes, they do, and that's what the Niners have in front of them. There's been a lot of football games going on today, one that's still going on right now in Buffalo between the Bills and the Eagles that could potentially impact the Chicago Bears because as the Bills are driving, I'm sure the Bears are wondering, well, how much is this game going to mean? If the Eagles win, they're tied if the Bears lose for that 2-seed spot, and they would slide to potentially face the 49ers or the Rams in the first round of the impending NFC playoffs. A lot to still be determined. The Niners right now, of course, are fighting for the 1 seed. They're fighting for the NFC West. And maybe that's also a part of it too, Lo, is the fact that it's not that people haven't given the Niners their propers, but they're in the same division with you and I. We've talked about this. Perhaps the 2 best teams in the NFL, where you got Seattle, who just ho-hum, walks through another win today. The Rams, meanwhile, outside of that Thursday night close overtime loss, that barn burner of a game in Seattle, we're probably talking about them as the number 1 squad right now. So the Niners have been the 3rd best team, but it's almost like they might be the 3rd best team in the conference, and tonight will give us some insight as to if that's the case.
Yeah, tonight will give you a lot of insight because I think Chicago Bears is right there. You think of Chicago Bears, you look at how consistent they've been and some of the things that they've been able to do, find ways to win football games. This is Chicago team. You're playing against a good team. You saw a Chicago team get physical and just beat up on teams. So this is going to be a great measuring stick for the 49ers and for the league to see how good for the Niners to see, have they stopped some of the run game? Have they cleaned up some of the passing game? Because this Chicago team's in a lot of ways remind me a lot of the Rams offense. They can throw the ball, they can go downfield, they get big chunks, they can run the ball. So this team has reminded me a lot of them, so it's going to be interesting to see how this works out.
No doubt. We're going to step aside, take one break, and then come back for our final segment. We're going to take you up until past 5 o'clock, a 5:15 kick on Sunday Night Football between the 49ers and the Bears, a battle to potentially get to the battle for the 1 seed for San Francisco. Right now, 11-4. The Bears are 11-4 as well. Everyone's got their eyes on this game, and we have you locked live right here at Laughing Monk Brewing in Sunnyvale, right off Oakmead Parkway. It's an awesome spot. I damn sure better see you next week for that home game. Whether the Niners win or lose, it'll be a massive matchup with the Seattle Seahawks as the Niners get themselves set for an automatic trip to the postseason. They are in, and now it's a question of what the seeding will be. Tonight has massive implications. We've got more coming on the other side as we return live from Laughing Monk Brewing, the kickoff show. Lorenzo O'Neill, Evan Giddings, we're back after this on 95.7 The Game.
Boy, am I glad to be done with my holiday shopping.
Oh, I know.
And now I just want to relax.
Me too. Well, except there's one more store we should check out.
Oh, no way.
Because this week, we can get a Samsung, LG, or Sony TV at an incredible price.
Really? Where?
At Video Only's year-end clearance sale. They're really cutting deals.
Because the holidays are over?
Yep. So this is our chance to get what we wanted for Christmas.
Are the prices really that good?
Yes. For 7 days they are. And Video Only has those top-rated models we were thinking about all on sale.
All right. The best stuff cheap is worth a trip.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael. Video Only.
The holiday rush continues at your California Ford dealers. The Ford year-end sell-a-thon is on. Now through January 2nd, get our best offers across the most popular Ford trucks and SUVs. From America's best-selling Ford F-Series trucks for 48 years, the legendary F-150 and Super Duty, to the Bronco family of SUVs for those who don't wait for adventure to begin. Plus, all-electric standouts like the Mustang Mach-E and F-150 Lightning. And Explorer and Escape, the perfect balance of comfort, capability, and everyday versatility. Get ready to power through whatever the season brings in a Ford. But don't wait. These year-end sell-a-thon savings won't last. The clock's ticking. The lots are moving. And these are the season's biggest savings on an incredible selection of Ford vehicles. Rush in before the sell-a-thon and the savings are over January 2nd. Get to your California Ford dealers today. Claim based on 1977 and 2024 calendar year industry reported total.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025. Donate your card today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 2025. Last chance! Donate now for a 2025 tax deduction.
Straight Talk presents The Math of More. Here's how it works. When you say yes to more with Straight Talk, you're left with more for all the other good stuff. So getting an unlimited plan starting at just $25 a month equals more savings for your family's weekend adventures. And with a network covered by Verizon, you can share more from wherever you go. It's simple math, really. More equals more with Straight Talk. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. The $25 plan requires a compatible unlocked device and a new line of service. Additional terms apply.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. VapoCool.
Now back to the kickoff show on 95.7 The Game.
Oh yeah, we are live here at Laughing Monk Brewing. A couple people still hanging out watching the end of an unbelievable finish to the 1 o'clock slate, Bills and Eagles. But of course getting set for the Showdown of the night.
Bang,
San Francisco and Chicago coming up at 5:20. We are here with you on the kickoff show. Up until then, Lorenzo Neal and Evan Giddings, and a game that obviously has a lot of NFC implications on the line. And I think probably a massive test is everybody's got their eyes on this Buffalo Bills game. 2 for the win, and Josh Allen just misses. So the Eagles will move to 11-5. The Bills fall to 11-5. And that means, Chicago has to win tonight to keep their hold on the 2 seed.
Yeah, it just, and you think about it, I remember being in these situations. They're over there at the ballpark. They got TVs in the locker room, and they're saying, hey, they just lost. Guys are watching it. Coaches got their eyes on this game as well. And he had the guy open.
Yeah, he did.
Just, bad throw by Josh. He's backing up, and, a little pressure in his face, and that Josh usually hits that. That could have been an easy 2-point conversion. He felt bad about it, but that just happens. This goes to show you don't let it come down to that. Sometimes you make a lot of mistakes. So now I think the Niners, they understand what's at stake. Both these two teams tonight, it's a heavyweight fight. Who cares with the Bills and that game we just saw? Yes, it was a great game. They went at it, but this is a heavyweight fight. If you win, either one of these teams saying, we control our own destiny. That's what this is about. Chicago Bears control their destiny. The San Francisco 49ers control their destiny. The 49ers understand, look, no one gave us a chance to be in here. People thought, I was one of the guys that said, do you set Purdy down? I was, hey, set Purdy down. Stay with the backup quarterback. He's got the hot hand. Kyle Shanahan says, no, put him back in there early. They lost to Jacksonville. He looked bad. Purdy looked bad. And everyone's like, why'd you put him in that early? And it was like, okay, they rested him. They let Mac Jones do what he needed to do. They brought back Purdy, and look what Purdy's been able to do. The table is set. They're here. The situation for both these two teams, they know if they win their 2 games, they're both in a better position. The Niners, it's simple. You stop the run. You play good offense. You keep the ball away from Chicago Bears. You don't put your defense out there. You don't get a lot of 3-and-outs. You win on 1st and 2nd down. You play complimentary football, and you try to win this game. That's what this is about. We can talk about X's and O's and all those different things. It comes down to who is going to execute and who wants it the most tonight, because these two teams that are playing for a lot.
That's what we learn every week in the NFL. Yes, there's close games. The majority of them come down to 1 or 2 plays here and there, but especially when you get into the biggest games, when you start seeing playoff type football like this game is tonight, like we'll see in a couple weeks when we get to January, when the Niners are going to be playing for all the marbles. But the thing is, it does just come down to a couple plays, or the couple plays that you don't make. Brock Purdy, if there's a double covered receiver down the field, do you throw it away, or do you try and force into double coverage and put that ball in a dangerous position? The Chicago Bears are a team that, unlike the Panthers, unlike the Cardinals, Browns, Titans, Colts, they will make you pay for that. And so I think tonight we're going to see what the Niners have been working with for the last 5 weeks, building on Brock Purdy's return, but also their willingness to trust their defense, their willingness to trust their special teams unit, their willingness to give the ball to McCaffrey, who quietly has been having one of the more unbelievable age 28 seasons by a running back in NFL history. So what the Niners have been able to do, I think, better than any of the previous teams that I've seen, at least with Brock Purdy at quarterback, is they're not afraid to simply trust one unit or the other. They play great complementary football, and I feel like the last couple of teams, though, that we've watched, either they've relied too much on their offense to score too many points. They've relied too much on their playmakers, but they haven't had the kicker. They haven't had a punter, the special teams unit. This team has a little bit of everything, and so I'm curious to see how that plays out against a team like Chicago, who's obviously the best they've faced yet.
If the 49ers score they win the game. What's the number for you tonight? I want to see that. I want to hear your number, because with me, a team that you and I are both fond of, the Chargers is 21 points. If the Chargers score 21 points with their defense, I think that even though the Chargers lost, and even though you're talking about the AFC and with their defense, 21. I believe if the Chargers score 21 or more, get to 20. If you play 24, I don't think the Chargers. I think they can win every game in the playoffs.
So I think a team like the Chargers, or a team like the Texans, or a team like the Eagles, teams with elite defenses, for me, those teams, it's 3 touchdowns. If they get 3 touchdowns, 21 points, the game is likely going to be in their hands. For the Niners, I think it takes 4 touchdowns. And the reason is I don't yet know if this defense can win them a game against a big boy like Chicago. I don't think the offense has to score 45 like they did last week against the Colts. But to me, Lo, it's got to be in the 28 range because I think Ben Johnson and that offense is good enough to score 3 times.
Hey, so you think it's 28 or more? If the Niners get 28 tonight,
should win the ball game. I think so. What about you?
Same church. I want like hell to say 24, and I can't do it against Ben Johnson's offense. I just know what Caleb his escapability.
Against some teams, 24 is good enough. I think the Chicago team can score.
I do too. I think you're gonna have. Honestly, I think tonight's whatever it takes.
Yeah.
And guess what? It could be more than 28 tonight. But the thing about it that doesn't scare me, this offense capable. You're going to have a fired up crowd. I'm going to tell you, but what I've seen a lot of Bears fans. These Bears, they think it's their year. It's going to be that place. Going to be interesting just to see when you get over there and see. But I'm telling you, these Niner fans, you're playing at home. That Niner faithful better come through tonight because you're playing at home. You got home field.
Yeah.
You this is home field through. You got the chance for home field throughout the. Let me tell you,
that's unbelievable, man. I can't, even just hearing you saying it doesn't sound real, but it's true.
Bro, you don't. Guess what? The Niners don't leave another game this year. Can you think about this? If you just win,
they wouldn't have to leave from here.
Yes.
Until the second week of February.
Yes.
That's crazy.
To the pro, they don't have to. They would be hosting every game in the Super Bowl. That's how. So I'm telling you. Tonight, these guys are going to be flying around. They're going to play like their hair is on fire, and it wouldn't. This game is so. I got so many emotions going. I don't know what I'm going to see because, as a player and as an ex-player, and I know what I'm fathoming. What I'm thinking in my mind as a player. And if I was on this Niners team, I would almost be crying to know what's at stake. I know that I would be with it's on you. Let's go. Man, run to the ball. No dogs down. No Niners down. Let's finish every play. Let's be in our lane. Man, who wants this tonight? Tonight it's about every man holding on, man, get in the circle. Bring that speech in, and everyone comes in. And everybody look at each man on the eye. And now grab a hand. Take your helmet. Grab a hand. Do it in the lock. You don't got to do it on the field. Everyone grab a hand. Everyone look at each other in the eye. And say, I won't let you lose. Now, I want you coaches to look at me and tell, I won't let you lose. Players won't let you lose. That's what it's got to be. It's got to be infectious tonight. That's what it's got to be. It's every man. It's got to say, I won't let you lose. It's every guy got to look each other in the eye and say, we got this. It's everybody got to get hungry tonight. They got to say, bang, bang, Niner gang, let's go.
And that's what it's about. But how do you, though, then take all that emotion that you've never felt rise so high that's bubbling up to the top of your head? How do you then lock in and say, woosah, because we're in the huddle and now it's time to roll. We got to take care of our job.
You're absolutely right. But it's a calm that comes over. But it's like attention to detail. It's last night in the team meeting. It's the first 15 plays. Everyone's going over the first 15. It's visualization. It's special teams. Everyone's watching a little bit more intently. It's like, dude, remember this. Remember this feeling. Guys, we don't want anything unturned. Let's not, no stone unturned, because tomorrow at 12 o'clock, at 10 o'clock at night when this is over, what are you going to say? Can you look at that guy and say, I didn't let you lose, but not physically, but mentally, because I knew my assignment. I was on time. I did everything because I got the right fit. I had the right adjustment. I played my gap. That's what it's about. And yeah, when you get in the huddle, it's whoosh. Yeah, it's that relaxing. It's the calm before the storm. But you know what, though? Even when you calm, you still can be a dog. Even when you watch a guy go out, whoever's go out in the fight, and you watch them, they calm, but right when the bell rings, it's still a calm, but they got bad intentions. You got to be calm, but you got to have bad intentions. Like, tonight is about setting the tone. Tonight is about flying. And yeah, you're supposed to fly around all, but let me tell you, it's a playoff game tonight. And yes, you got to have bad intentions, but you got to be calm. You got to be attention to details. You got to know what you're doing. You know the assignment. You know what's at stake. This game, and you even though you're fired up, you got to look across and say, that dude's thinking the same thing I'm thinking. But who wants it the baddest? I remember lining up playing against guys like Ray Lewis, and I know we run lead, and I look over, and he know it's lead. I see you, Neil, and guess what? I wink and say, yeah, darn right you see me. And we line up and we slide over, and the guard fan blocks, and the hole opens up, and I slide over, and I start running, and he start running, and it's like me or you. And I'm saying, here I come, ready or not. Jack! And you both boom, and you feel it, and your body just jar, and it hurts. And you get up and you look at me. I'm coming back for some more. Come on. I tell Coach, let's run it again. And I'm second, third, and before you know it, somebody gonna quit. That's what this is about tonight. Even though I don't care how much heart. Sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you. Everybody got a breaking point. Who wants it more tonight? If you the Niners, you got something that no other team in the league, nobody can't say. Philly, Rams, nobody can say what you can say. You can say that it comes through my house. Who can say that?
Nobody. And this is something that you told me, I think it was week 4 or week 5. It might have been after the Rams game, but you know, there's been some situations where the Niners have obviously had to play down some players. And looking at the inactives tonight, Kittle, Renardo Green, and a couple of backup defensive players are going to be out. But that's the thing is they've already played so many games compromised. They've already played so many games and won games where they've been down key players, where they've been down Kittles, where they've been down Jennings, they've been down Purdy's. There's been so many games in which they have had to play without their big dogs that almost the inactive list, it is what it is. Right. But this is the one football team that I feel like doesn't necessarily apply to this season. Might it get them beat down the line? We're going to find out. But they've proven more times than not that, to your point, that mentality in the huddle of I'm up, it's me, mano-a-mano against the man on the other side, that's really what's been able to get them through a season from hell that's turned into potentially a season that leads to the stairway to heaven, because it could be back at Levi's later on this year.
I love it, E. You're starting to put it together, baby. I love it. I'm like the A-team. I love it when a plan comes together, and you're starting to put it together. No question, man. When you think about who you got on the 49ers, and you think about the men that's in that locker room, but you think about a guy named Robert Saleh, you got to realize this guy's chomping at the bit. He's telling guys, I'm going to cut you loose. Hey, guys don't believe in you. Let me defense, give here. No one's telling us anything. Everyone said they don't even know your name. Everyone's look at the back of your jersey. They don't even know who you are. They don't believe you guys be on this field. But I'm going to tell you what, guys, I believe in you. This is where we're at. This is what everyone thought you were at. But look where we're at. We're right here playing for the NFC Championship game. We have an opportunity right now. We're in the playoffs. Our playoffs have started tonight. And they've been going for the last 5 weeks, so don't change anything. But tonight is a bigger game. And guess what? We will stay home the rest of it. We never have to travel. Let's go. And that's what Robert Saleh is telling these young men, these guys that looking out there, and they said, where's our help? Look around. There's your help, Mufasa. There's your help, Khalil. Here's your help, Davis. These guys are looking at each other. Here's your help is right there. If we ain't looking, there's no more heroes coming. All it takes is all you got. And that's what Robert Saleh, and that's what this defense, you heard Kittle say, we got to score 30. We got to score, and we got to do better. Mm-hmm. And this defense have stood up. They heard the call. They heard the call, and they haven't had to score 30. You got the Niners, besides the Rams, this defense have played fairly well. Yeah, they've given us some plays at times, but when you think about it, they have played fair. This is going to be a big test tonight. The Rams pushed them around. Besides the Rams, Philly, last week, Phillip Rivers Phillip threw the ball around, but that game was over. They were a 2-score game. Yeah. They got some garbage points. They had the second half, they shut Phillip down pretty much. Mm-hmm. So when you think about what this defense has been able to do, they don't need attaboys anymore. They don't need, we don't know what you can do. No. Let me turn on the tape. Let me show you what you guys can do. Let me show you where you punched it out against the Rams. Let me show you where you had the pick six. Let me show you where you're creating turnovers. That's what tonight, man, you just want your guys to know that you believe in them. You want them to say, guys, I don't want you to try to do anything extra. I just want your best. If you do your best, and if you stay technique sound, and do the things that you've been taught to do, and do your job, it's good enough.
And their best has gotten them to 11-4. And this is the point is, while we might feel like there's a couple things that are leaky and a couple holes that here and there and some injuries, guys out, it's like the fact of the matter is they've won games in which they have won defensive battles. They have won games in which they've simply controlled the line of scrimmage and possession of clock. They've won shootouts. They have won in just about every single fashion there is to win this season. They've won when they've been down. They've won on the road when they've been up. They've preserved leads against good teams. They have done it in every way you could have hoped for. This isn't a team where, as much as I did fall in love with week to week the 2023 explosiveness of that offense, the Debo, Kittle, McCaffrey in his OPOY season, Jawan was the third receiver, Ike was getting 1,400 yards. As much as I love that team, Fred Warner, I remember this vividly, he called that team front runners. And that's what they ended up being for the majority of that season. They were a front-running team. If they did not have the lead and control the script of the game, you could catch them. This is a team that might be able to control the script, but they also have a quarterback and an offense that I think can bring them back in certain games. They have a defense that's willing to get you some turnovers. They have a defense that can get you off the field on third downs. They have a special teams unit that can control the field, and a kicker that might be more dependable than the one they had at the beginning in week 1 of this season. So this is a Niners team that, to me, in comparison to their last couple of great football teams, while they don't have everything, they have enough. And just like you said, their best is good enough, and I'm really excited to see how it measures up to Chicago here in just about, 30 minutes.
Man, so am I. I just look at this, and it's like we talk about all the X's and O's, and we talk about who's going to do what and how's this game going to shape up, and you talk about all the great players that this team has had, and we talked about, oh, my God, well, hey, look, Brock Purdy, he just needs to be a game manager. He needs to just, he's got so much talent around him. He just doesn't need to screw it up. That's why when you think about the quarterback who was here of yesterday years that's now back up for the Rams, who took him to the Super Bowl, Jimmy Garoppolo, said, hey, he just needed to not screw it up because he had so much talent. I think it's safe to say Brock Purdy, this is his team. I think it's safe to say now he doesn't have all the talent that everyone's talking about that he used to have. I think it's safe to say that Brock Purdy wins now. Now they talk about, hey, I'm one of those guys that said, hey, he has a lot of talent. Debo, all those guys he had. Look, all he has to do is McCaffrey in his heyday, Kittle, all those cats. You say, hey, look, he just doesn't need to screw it up. I'm willing to get off that. I'm going to get off that bus. I'm off that bus. I'm saying now he has to be great. He's got to go win these games. He's got to be. I think what he is, and I'm telling you, to me, he's what Josh Allen has to be for Buffalo. I look at it, and when I think about this team, because you can compare the running backs, and we can say, yeah, I think McCaffrey's great, but you look at Buffalo's running back.
When James Cook is on.
Come on now. He can catch the ball. He's slashy. McCaffrey's got what 2 runs this year over 20 yards or more the whole year?
Yeah, he's been solid, but he hasn't been explosive.
James Cook has been very explosive. So I'm telling you, the barometer said that Purdy has to be what Josh Allen and maybe more has to be to Buffalo.
And last week he was. I mean, you could call him a game manager if you like. Game managers don't throw 5 touchdowns.
I'm off that bus now. Now, I think when he had all that talent, I was like, man, when Debo and everybody I was like, man, okay. But now, Purdy, show me what you're working with, because you got to be great. He's got to be great now.
And statistically, he had such a high bar because of those guys around him that I remember talking about this with someone at the station a couple of years ago. It's, all right, how can Brock Purdy get better? Well, the reality is he just simply has to prove that when he doesn't have the Avengers, can he still be a quarterback that is productive, that is smart, that does all the things that made us fall in love with him when he was playing with those all pros? Can he be those things with the lesser cast of characters? Last week he threw 5 touchdowns. I think since he's returned and he's 5-0, he's been that and then some for the 49ers. Against Chicago, he does have to be that tonight. And it was interesting when you're taking us in the locker room and what it feels like before a big game like this, and your heart's popping out of your chest like you're the Grinch when his heart grew three sizes that day. Brock Purdy is the guy in the huddle who I think does provide the calmness and coolness to a lot of people on that team, because George Kittle has talked about it, about a guy who can command the huddle. I think it's difficult for us on the outside that haven't been in those huddles like you to really understand, all right, what does command of a huddle look like? Well, I think to your point, when that energy and that emotion is spiking like a volcano, who's the guy that you look in their eyes and you just remind yourself, all right, I got to do my job. And for the San Francisco 49ers, it does appear apparent to me that that's Brock Purdy.
Yeah, it is. He's got to be the calming factor, and we know Kittle, what he brings to the table when he's out there. But, yeah, I remember getting in the huddle. You Drew Brees, ace right, flat, 469, all go. Hey, EP, I need you on this one. Hey, look, if this guy presses you, look, I'm going to get you on its face. Boom, hey, Gatesy, boom, boom, hey, wiggle him on there, break. I mean, just those little couple lines right there. Hey, hey, PB, call me. Drew would call me PB. Hey, PB, Pro Bowl. Hey, PB, hey, give me that chip and then leak out late. And you just like, so you knew I'm gonna give that chip. If I'm a chip and I'm like 1001, I'm like, okay, that's closed. Now, boom, I make a couple chips. Boom, I leak out flat. Pick up 5, 7, 8 yards. But it was just it was a calming. And you had Phillips, the same thing. Steve McNair. Hey, look, you want a guy that's going to come in and have that presence, look right, hey, and tell you, hey, look, guys, let's get this thing going. Hey, guys, come on. Let's quit farting around. Let's go make it happen. Let's go get this. When you have a guy like that, and then you look at him, and I've been on some guys that would speak the talk and couldn't walk the walk. Mm-hmm. I've been in Cincinnati when the Dirty Bengals and had some guys on there, Kelly Smith, and wanted to be great, first pick, Oregon guy, and dude, go in the huddle, and you look at him, and you watch him throw it to into coverage, and you say, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
And you're like, man, getting guys killed, and you see guys just start fraying away, and you watch guys like, oh, this is not, and you see it. So, yes, it's a difference. It's a difference between able to deliver and not deliver.
And I think Brock is going to have to deliver not just tonight with his arm, but also his legs, and that's something that I know I was a little fearful of, is not just how the turf toe is going to impact the ability to plant and dart that ball, but I think Brock Purdy's most dangerous weapon might be his legs, and the fact that he's able to get out of pressure, the fact that he's able to extend plays, the fact that he could pick up a 5 or 6 yard game when he needs to. And I do think that he's looking – I know it's impossible to say you're 100% because you don't know what the guys are going through each and every week to get themselves prepared for these games off a turf toe, but it feels to me like he has put the Jacksonville type of game, that type of performance where he obviously came back too early, he's put that behind him. So you do have to tip your cap to Mac Jones, because his ability to keep this season alive for the Niners and go 5-3 to put you in a position to where tonight you could play to then play for the 1 seed, that can't go dismissed. But it also allowed Brock Purdy to get healthy, because I do think, Lo, that if Mac Jones had lost all of those games or had lost maybe his first 3 games that he played, they would have tried to rush Brock back too early, and I think that would have put them in a far worse position, obviously, than they are now.
Oh, no question. It gave them the reason to relax him and rest him, and now look how he's playing. And, if Shanahan can go back in time, he probably wouldn't have played him against Jacksonville, and they'd have won that game, and you'd be even sitting in a better position that you'd have a little more grace in the pocket. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. You can't cry over spilt milk. The San Francisco 49ers, they're here because they've earned the right to be here. Brock Purdy is a good quarterback. Brock Purdy this is Brock Purdy's team. He is a leader. He's a leader of men. You watch the way these guys gravitate toward him. You see the things he does in the community. You watch, he's still stern, but he still hold people accountable. You look at Shanahan, how he operates this team. You look at what he's done defensively, bringing in the guy, Robert Saleh. You watch the things that this team has done and what Robert Saleh has done and what they have created, the aura and the presence and just the culture that they are creating. They're creating a new culture again. So you got to realize you have a lot of guys that have been the culture, but you had to bring in some young guys right now, and you're making them a part of this culture, and it's working, and they're gelling, they're coming together. And tonight is another brick that they have to lay. This is the foundation being laid, and tonight they're going to lay another brick, another foundation, and you lay another one next week. And guess what? If you lay 2 more pieces of the foundation is built. That means, guess what? Now you're home. You have accomplished. You have accomplished what you out to set. It's to get in the playoffs. We understand. But if you can be home field to be in the playoffs, to be number 1 seed, be home, that is another accomplishment. And the cherry on top is it's in San Francisco. You have an opportunity next 2 weeks to lay foundational pieces that people can talk about for generations to come about this team, because what this team has accomplished and what they went through and what this process has taken place and the way in which it happened, This is not supposed to happen, E. We did not think this was going to happen. No one in the NFL thought this happened. No one thought the team was capable of doing this. But look where they're at now. This is way bigger than the year when they went to the Super Bowl a couple years back because it was expected. This is bigger when they went the other year with Shanahan because this is bigger. This is bigger right now because of what they've accomplished and the way in which they did it and the odds that was stacked against them and the injuries that even stacked them more against them, but they're still here.
And that's all they've continued to do is put one foot in front of another, 1 yard after another, one touchdown after another, and more importantly, one win after another. They're 11-4 right now, and they got the Chicago Bears coming up in just a few here at Levi's Stadium, Sunday Night Football. As we get to our predictions and wind this thing down low, I think this is a game, and we kind of talked about it off the top and have sprinkled it in throughout the show. I think this game does come down to how well the Niners take care of the football. You know the Bears are going to be able to run the ball. They like to control clock, but the one thing you can't do is give this defense that's turned over teams more than anybody else in the NFL extra opportunities. This is a Bears team also, mind you, that has won a lot of close games this year. They have the lowest scoring differential of any of the double-digit teams right now in the postseason, so they have found ways to win close games. The Niners, meanwhile, are riding high on a 5-game win streak, trying to make it a 6th and obviously set up that matchup next week with the Seahawks. They're not overlooking Chicago, but to me, this is a very difficult game to predict. I like the Niners in this one, and I think the difference is, for me, it's at home, in a place where, to your point, it's crazy to say, but they might not have to leave home for the next couple of weeks if they keep on winning. So I like the Niners in front of their home crowd. I think if I had to pick a score, I talked about the magic number for me. It's 28. I think 28-24 is what I'm looking at. But it's going to be a great game. And honestly, I just can't wait to get out there and watch this one.
Yeah, this is one you just want to watch, and you just want to, you can't wait till it's over and hope the scoreboard reads the 49ers win.
Yeah.
It have more than the opposite team. That's what you're hoping for. But this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a physical game. You're going to see two teams getting after it. You're going to see two quarterbacks make some hell of a plays. You're going to see two quarterbacks probably make some mistakes. You're going to see two teams trying to run the ball, create dominance, creating a new line of scrimmage. You're going to see two teams trying to show physicality. This is the game tonight. You're going to see the wills. This is a game of will and attrition tonight. This is about, you're going to see two teams trying to say, I'm going to will that we can run the ball. We're going to be physical. We're going to beat you up. That's what I'm looking to see tonight. I want to see which team is going to give, which team is going to break, because that's what this game's going to be about tonight. Watch, I guarantee it. This is going to be, it's going to be it's going to be some highlights. It's going to be some fireworks. But I'm telling you, this is going to be a physical game tonight. It's going to be physical.
No doubt. And the Niners obviously play at home next week as well, which means we got your opportunity to join us live at Laughing Monk Brewing. Typically 2 hours before the game. We had a little bit of a mix-up because of the Warriors today, but always 2 hours before kickoff for 49ers home games at Levi's Stadium. If you want a free trip to and from the stadium on a shuttle we got for you every single Sunday in the future, hit the 957thegame.com link, Eventbrite, sign up, secure your spot. Come hang out before, watch some games, hang out with Lo and I at a great place and a great experience before you get on over to the Niners. But for now, we got to roll because the Niners are coming up in just a few against the Chicago Bears on Sunday Night Football. This has been the Kickoff Show. We're going to talk to you next week. Time TBD. It might be on Sunday night. Might be 1 o'clock. It might be for the 1 seed. But I can guarantee you we're going to see you live here at Laughing Monk Brewing. So big thank you to our guy Sam setting things up for us here. Big thank you to Cameron back in our 95.7 The Game studios. Big thank you to Lo Neal as always. My name is Evan Giddings saying so long from Laughing Monk Brewing. Mark Grandy is coming up on Overtime along with Sterling Bennett after this one, and I'm sure it's going to be a great game and a great, hopefully, Victory Monday reaction day on 95.7 The Game. So we'll talk to you next time. Now let's get this thing done, Niners.
Bang, bang!
I bet you folks are glad to be done with your shopping. Hopefully, all your gifts went well. But there's one last store to visit, this time just for yourself. Your chance to get one of the top-rated Samsung, LG, or Sony TVs